Episode 9, Developing the Soccer Mind, Teaching Game Intelligence Early. Welcome to the 90-Minute Mind, where we dive deeper than drills, results, or even raw talent. This is the space where we break down what it truly takes to grow as a soccer player, a coach, or a parent guiding your child on their journey through the beautiful game. Today, we're entering one of the most overlooked yet critical aspects of player development, game intelligence. Soccer IQ. That ability to read the field, anticipate movement, make decisions under pressure, and control the tempo of a game without needing to touch the ball much. Physicality and skill can get a player noticed early, but it's intelligence that keeps them in the game and helps them win it. In this episode, we'll explore what it means to develop a soccer brain from a young age. We'll discuss how coaches can nurture awareness and decision-making, how players can sharpen their instincts, and how parents can support their child's tactical growth without overcomplicating things. Let's kick things off.
Soccer isn't just a game played with the feet, it's a game played with the mind. What separates good players from great ones isn't always talent or speed, it's how they think. And the earlier a player starts learning how to think the game, the better their chances of reaching their potential. Young players often focus on technical skills, dribbling, passing, shooting. These are essential. But what makes a player stand out over time is how they see the game. Are they aware of space? Can they read the movement of their teammates and opponents? Can they make decisions quickly, under pressure, and with confidence? Game intelligence isn't reserved for professionals or elite players. It can, and should, be introduced from a young age. It's a muscle just like anything else. And like any muscle, it grows stronger with focused repetition, thoughtful coaching, and time. So, how do we help kids build game intelligence? It starts with teaching them to observe before they act. So many players, especially younger ones, make decisions based on what's immediately in front of them. They see the ball, they chase. They see a teammate, they pass. But they don't always consider what's behind them, who's moving where, or what options are developing in 2 or 3 seconds. Encouraging players to scan the field, to get in the habit of looking around even before they receive the ball, is one of the simplest yet most effective tools. Coaches can train this by incorporating verbal cues into drills. Look left, check your shoulder, where's your nearest option? These reminders build habits. Over time, players begin to instinctively scan before they act. Another key is simplifying the decision-making process. Young players don't need complex tactics or formations to understand space. Start by helping them recognize basic shapes, triangles and diamonds, and teaching them to move in ways that create passing angles. Show them how supporting positions allow the ball to keep moving. Use small-sided games to highlight how space opens and closes depending on where players move. The beauty of small-sided games is that they force involvement. Every player touches the ball more, reacts more, and must adapt constantly. In a 4v4 or 5v5 format, players are required to think quickly and be constantly aware. The field becomes a classroom. Mistakes? They're gold. Let kids make the wrong decision. Let them lose the ball because they tried a risky pass or dribbled too long. Then reflect. Ask questions after the play. Not, why did you mess up? But what did you see there? What were your options? Help them connect their choices to the outcome without punishing the creativity that sparked it. This reflection builds pattern recognition. The more situations a young player experiences, the better they understand what works, what doesn't, and how to adjust in the moment. Video is another powerful tool. Even basic match recordings, a phone on a tripod, can provide players with the opportunity to see themselves from the outside. Sitting with a player and watching 5 minutes of footage can open up understanding that no drill ever could. They start to recognize their habits, positioning, and off-ball movement. But it's not just about learning from themselves. It's also about learning from the best. Studying professional players is one of the most inspiring ways to build soccer IQ. Not for the fancy highlights, but for the subtle details. A midfielder checking their shoulder 5 times before receiving the ball, a forward bending their run to stay onside, a defender shifting their weight early to cut off a pass. When young players begin to watch soccer with purpose, not just as fans, but as students, their understanding grows. But intelligence also grows off the field, in the body and in the mind. Sleep, nutrition, and emotional regulation all play a role. A tired, underfueled, distracted player won't make good decisions. Coaches and parents who emphasize mental rest and preparation set the stage for better learning. And speaking of parents, your role matters more than you know. Game intelligence isn't just developed in training. It's reinforced in the car ride home, at the dinner table, and in how success and failure are framed. Avoid overcoaching from the sidelines. Let your child learn. Ask them what they saw, how they felt, what they tried differently next time. These conversations encourage reflection, which strengthens understanding. This brings us to another key piece: freedom. One of the reasons street soccer and unstructured play have produced so many intelligent players around the world is because of how much problem solving is involved. No coach is telling them where to stand. No parent is barking instructions. It's just kids playing, adapting, creating, and learning how to win or lose on their own terms. If we want to develop smarter players, we have to create space for that kind of learning. Tactics matter too. Eventually, as players grow older, introducing team shape, roles, and responsibilities becomes essential. But the foundation is built much earlier and much simpler. Play, observe, decide. So how do we measure growth in soccer IQ? It's not always in goals or assists. Sometimes it's a player who once panicked with the ball who now calmly turns out of pressure. Sometimes it's a winger who used to dribble into dead ends who now sees the overlapping run and plays a through ball. These moments, small wins, are signs of a developing mind. And it takes time, a lot of time. We need to be patient with young players. Some may shine early, while others need years to process and apply what they're learning. The goal isn't to create perfect players by 12. It's to build intelligent, adaptable ones who keep improving into their teens and beyond. Soccer is a puzzle, and the best players are the ones who love solving it. If we give kids the tools, the time, and the trust, they'll not only learn the game, they'll begin to see it in a way that sets them apart.
Game intelligence isn't a switch that flips. It's a habit, a mindset, and a lifelong process. The best players don't just learn how to play, they learn how to think. As coaches, parents, and players, our job is to create space for that kind of growth, where learning is encouraged, creativity is protected, and understanding the game becomes just as important as mastering the ball. If today's episode gave you something to think about, share it with someone in your soccer circle. The journey is always better when it's shared, especially when we're all working toward helping the next generation become smarter, more confident, and more complete players. And don't miss the next episode, Episode 10, The Parent Factor, How Families Can Make or Break a Soccer Journey. Because talent is just one piece of the puzzle. The support system around a young player, that might be the difference between burnout and breakthrough. Thanks for listening to the 90-Minute Mind. Think the game, love the process, and keep growing one decision at a time.